Chapter 1. Heidi Goes to the Mountains. Long ago in Switzerland, there was a little girl named Heidi. She was only 5 years old when her parents died. After that, Heidi lived with her Aunt Deet. But Aunt Deet found a new job in the city and could not take care of Heidi anymore. So one summer morning, she decided to bring Heidi to her grandfather, who lived high up in the Swiss Alps. Her grandfather was called Almuncle by the people of the village. He was a tall, strong old man with a long white beard. He lived alone in a wooden hut on the mountain. Many villagers thought he was unfriendly and strange, but Heidi was not afraid. She was full of curiosity and energy. When Aunt Deet and Heidi climbed the mountain, they met Peter, a young goat herd. He looked after many goats every day and led them up the mountain pastures. Heidi immediately liked him. Finally, they reached the grandfather's hut. The old man looked serious when he saw Heidi. He did not smile, but he also did not refuse her. Aunt Deet quickly left, happy to be free of her responsibility. Grandfather gave Heidi some milk, bread, and cheese. Then he showed her the small bed he made in the hayloft. Heidi loved it. She thought the hut was cozy and the mountains were beautiful. From that day, her new life began. Chapter 2. Life with Grandfather. The next morning, Heidi woke early. The sun was shining over the mountains, and the air was fresh. She ran outside and felt free. She loved the sound of the wind, the smell of the grass, and the song of the birds. Grandfather was kind in his quiet way. He made her goats milk every day, cut fresh bread, and sometimes roasted cheese for her. Heidi quickly became strong and healthy. Every day, she went with Peter and the goats up to the green meadows. She ran across the grass, picked wildflowers, and laughed with joy. Peter enjoyed her company, though he was shy and not very talkative. Heidi soon grew to love the goats. She gave them names and petted them gently. At night, she told Grandfather about her adventures on the mountain. Slowly, the old man's heart softened. He began to smile more often. People in the village heard that little Heidi had changed him. Chapter 3. A New Life in Frankfurt. 2 happy years passed. One day, Aunt Deet returned. She told Grandfather that Heidi must come with her to Frankfurt, a big city in Germany. There, a rich family wanted a companion for their sick daughter. At first, Grandfather refused, but Aunt Deet insisted. Finally, she took Heidi away. The rich family lived in a large house. Their daughter was named Clara Cece-Man. Clara was kind and gentle, but very weak. She could not walk and spent most of her time in a wheelchair. Heidi and Clara became good friends at once. Heidi told Clara about the mountains, the goats, the flowers, and the fresh air. Clara loved to hear these stories because she had never been to such places. The Cece-Man family was pleased with Heidi. Clara's grandmother especially liked her because Heidi was honest and full of life. But one person was not happy, Miss Rottenmeier, the strict housekeeper. She thought Heidi was wild and uneducated. Chapter 4. Homesickness. Heidi lived in Frankfurt for many months. She tried to be a good friend to Clara, but she began to feel very sad. She missed her grandfather, Peter, the goats, and the fresh mountain air. She could not sleep well in the big city house. Sometimes she woke up in the night and cried quietly. She also became pale and thin. Clara's grandmother noticed this and asked her what was wrong. Heidi finally admitted that she longed for a home in the Alps. When Mr. C.C. Man, Clara's father, learned about Heidi's sadness, he decided to send her back to her grandfather. He believed that children should be happy and healthy, not lonely and sad. Clara was sad to say goodbye, but she understood. So one morning, Heidi traveled back to Switzerland. Her heart was full of joy when she saw the mountains again. Chapter 5. Back in the Alps. Grandfather was surprised but deeply happy when Heidi returned. From that day, he never wanted to let her go again. Heidi told him everything about Frankfurt, Clara, and the C.C. Man family. She was stronger than before and more thoughtful too. She began to help her grandfather with small tasks like cooking, cleaning, and tending to the goats. Soon, Clara's grandmother wrote a letter. She asked if Clara could come visit the Alps. Grandfather agreed. Chapter 6. Clara visits the mountains. Clara arrived in the summer with her grandmother. She was delighted by the fresh air and the beautiful scenery. Heidi took her to meadows and introduced her to Peter and the goats. Clara had never seen such freedom before. At first, Clara was nervous about moving without her wheelchair, but with encouragement from Heidi and grandfather, she began to try walking with sticks. Each day, she became a little stronger. One morning, something wonderful happened. Clara stood up and took a few steps on her own. Heidi clapped her hands with joy. Grandfather's eyes filled with tears, though he said little. The mountains had given Clara strength and health. Chapter 7. A Happy Ending. When Mr. C.C. Man heard the news, he came to the Alps himself. He could not believe his eyes when he saw Clara walking toward him. He thanked grandfather again and again for taking care of both girls. Clara's grandmother also praised Heidi. She promised to send books and clothes so Heidi could study and learn, because she was bright and eager. From that time on, Heidi had everything she needed. Her loving grandfather, her dear friend Clara, her playmate Peter, and the beautiful mountains she called home. She grew up healthy and happy, surrounded by nature and love. And whenever she looked at the mountains glowing in the sunset, she thought, "There is no better place in the world than home." Cherry Blossom, the end Cherry Blossom,